family poppy pillow?
Nah, I actually need it for myself.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi. Who's yours?
Team Doze in this thing. You know, it's been a minute since the two of us were on the same video.
Absolutely.
A lot has changed since we last did a video.
Oh yeah.
Someone's not pregnant anymore. And
It's
yeah,
sad.
we are just going to go through that story because it's pretty
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what happened. So we'll start with what we planned, what was gonna happen.
Okay. So we had a C-section scheduled the 27th.
C-section scheduled 27. Why do we have to have it? Why do we know it was a C-section?
What do you mean, why did we know if it was a C-section?
Isn't it because Z was a C-section? So.
Oh, so Z ended up being an emergency C-section. Let me fix my shirt. Ended up being an emergency C-section. So there's like a 1% risk of your uterus, of a uterine rupture. So we decided not to take the chance having a natural birth this time and just do the C-section again.
Right.
So that is exactly what we did.
So the natural date was like May
2nd.
And then they don't want you to go a full
past 39 weeks because they don't want they don't want to risk you going into labor.
Right.
So we just picked the first date that we could to have the C-section, which was supposed to be April 27th, but somebody decided to come 2 weeks early.
We're not gonna get there.
We're not there yet? Okay, my bad.
April 27th was the date.
Yes.
Boom. Mm-hmm. And then we had plans for people to come out on those dates as well, right?
Yeah, so my mom was supposed to come out
on
the 24th, so the Friday before.
The Friday before.
And then she was going to stay with Z.
Yes, because of this corona stuff.
Yes.
Because babies are not, really no visitors are allowed in the hospital.
Well, she wouldn't have been able to stay anyway.
Even before?
No.
That's racist.
She would have had to. Oh my gosh.
Racist.
Babe.
Baby sis.
Baby sis.
Baby sis.
Oh
my baby stand up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But no. Only we was worried that I wasn't even gonna be able to be at the
I know
hospital.
some hospitals are not allowing the spouse or partner
we would have
to be
pop
there.
This joint out right in the bed.
Yeah. Actually, I did read somewhere that a lot of women are opting into home births because of all of the coronavirus stuff, and they're afraid of like catching.
They the ones who taking all the toilet paper and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Anywho.
Lay it across the floor. Y'all not
Anywho.
All right, so yeah,
we had a birth plan.
And then
it just went
around what day would you say you started? What day did we go in for your first scare, I guess?
Scare?
Like something was wrong. Was it the 12th?
The 12th was Easter, so that was the 11th. So, trying to think. I just wasn't feeling the best the closer we got to April. Mm-hmm. Just like with work and everything, it was really stressing me out. But I'm trying to think. So it ended up that I was really like severely dehydrated. So the day before Easter, I had been having I'd had the runs for a few weeks, I feel like, at that point, but it ended up getting worse closer to Easter. Yeah, had a really special moment, you know. Husband had to help me out. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was pretty gross. But that Saturday, I just like didn't want to eat anything. Didn't want to like couldn't really drink anything besides water. Like everything just kept like coming right on out. So I went to the hospital and basically they just checked to see if I was dilating and didn't really do anything. And then they sent me home, but the baby was okay. I guess they had the baby hooked up to a monitor and her heart rate and breathing was fine. Cause poop can be like diarrhea can be a sign that labor is near. And then trying to think.
Or that you just been eating some crazy stuff.
Okay,
and
anywho.
it's just time to get on out.
Anywho.
It's just multiple.
Anywho.
Go ahead.
So,
We can't. She
sent me home. Ty had to sit in the car.
No. I was with Zeta at the house the whole.
No, that was Saturday. You had to sit in the car because
I was in the car.
They
wouldn't let me in.
You can't have anybody with you in the hospital unless you're admitted.
Yeah.
So he literally had to sit in the car for like 3 hours, and I felt horrible. So then they sent me home. We had Easter. Didn't realize. I mean, we knew it was gonna be our last holiday with Z, but we didn't realize it was like the last like.
Show the Easter pic.
24 hours with just Z, so that was crazy.
Yeah, our last day with just Z.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, we'll go there.
I mean, it was my last day with Z, so Monday rolls around, the 13th.
Well, no, let's do a little more breakdown. So it's Easter that night.
I forgot.
Yeah, I started feeling messed up. Don't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
So we was like,
probably allergies.
Yeah, we was outside all day.
I was afraid he had the Rona.
Coronavirus! Yeah, we're not gonna lie. I didn't, but we thought something was really wrong with me. So then I guess I was hurting all night. I don't remember.
So then I ended up calling my doctor.
Yeah.
And asking, like what I should do about Ty, because I was like, we're exactly 2 weeks to the day for our C-section. And I didn't, want to take a risk, like, okay, like, what if he did have coronavirus? Like, he wouldn't be able to be there. Like, that would be tragic. But I had also had some, like, weird cramping in my arm and my hand that Sunday on Easter. Mm-hmm. And it was just another sign that I was really dehydrated. Like, I couldn't even move my finger. And apparently this has happened to Ty and some of his friends before. So... Athletes. He was, familiar with it, but I was freaking out. And then still with like the pooping and not being able to hold anything in. So Monday rolls around, I called my doctor and I'm asking about Ty, but then I was like, you know what, let me mention my arm and hand cramping up because that was weird. And shout out to the best nurse, Chanel. But she told me, I should probably go in because that sounds really, really suspicious. And then I also noticed, that the baby wasn't moving as much as she normally does, in the morning. So I was like, maybe it's just getting tight, because I was 9.5 months at that point. So, it was pretty.
So you wake up and we go, and she tell you to go to the hospital.
Yeah, and I was just like, first I wasn't gonna go. Thank God I ended up going.
Yeah, this is the 13th. Monday.
Yeah, this is Monday the 13th. So wasn't gonna go. Did you know she's gonna have a birthday on Friday the 13th at some point in her life. That's crazy.
Isn't everybody who was born on the 13th?
I know. I'm just saying, but she'll have a Friday the 13th birthday. Anywho, sorry, that was random.
She's gonna be able to see the year 3000.
Okay.
As well.
You're never gonna let me live that down. He can get to that in a second. Anywho, so I was going back and forth. I was like, I'm not gonna go to the hospital. And we had our weekly prenatal checkup that Friday, and I was like, I'm sure if I wait until Friday, glad I didn't. Like everything will be fine, blah blah blah. So, I don't know, I just kept going back and forth, and then after Saturday, I was like, I'm just going to literally run up a hospital bill. Like, this is insane. So, whatever, I ended up going in, left Ty at home with Z, got to the hospital and got admitted at like noon. And I ended up being there for hours.
All day?
All day. So by like 2-3 o'clock, they gave me they hooked me up to an IV and were giving me fluids because I was really dehydrated. And then 2 hours maybe had passed by, so it's like maybe 4 or 5 at this point. And the nurse comes back in and she said,
mind you, I'm still not feeling.
100.
That morning I was like still like weak and not feeling my best.
I know, and I offered to take Z somewhere, but he said he was fine.
Yeah, I was getting better as the day progressed.
Yeah. But so I'm still in the hospital and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, you know, what's going on? Nobody's really telling me anything. And the nurse comes in and she says something about cord compression and variables. So I was just like, okay, like, you know, they kind of can't say much to you and they don't want to freak you out. So I was just like, I hopped on Google and I was just like, you know, what is this? Like, what's going on? So basically cord compression, from what I understand, is, you know, the baby wasn't getting enough blood and like nutrients because the cord was, you know, compressed. It was being smushed, which is serious. And then variables, so like her breathing, she was having like, you know, breaks, I get, not breaks, but
well, she wasn't breathing.
She was breathing, but it was like
irregular.
Dips. Yeah, it was irregular. There we go. There were like dips in, you know, like in her breathing. So they ended up telling me that they were monitoring that. So then I ended up telling Ty, I'm like, maybe you should start packing bags just to be safe, you know, in case you have to rush out to the hospital, in case we have to have this baby tonight. So then another, you know, hour goes by and, you know, it's still not looking good on the monitors, blah, blah, blah. And the nurse comes back in and she says that they're ordering an ultrasound because they want to check the baby's breathing, like, and they wanted to look at her diaphragm. So the ultrasound consultant comes in and she's watching, you know, the baby's lungs for like a good 30 minutes. And she was testing for something and the baby failed. So then I'm, you know, kind of like, okay, like, is something wrong with my baby? Like, I haven't really been feeling her move as much. Like, I'm not feeling well. Like, you know, what's going on? Because I had the perfect pregnancy with Z, never had an issue. She was 2 weeks late, you know, so I was just like, oh, you know, like, I don't know, freaking out a little bit. So then, you know, I called Ty and I'm just like, you should probably, like, you know, let our friends know that we're gonna need to, you know, take Z there, blah, blah, blah. Cause I don't know, it looks like we might be having this baby tonight. So then naturally, like, I'm starting to freak out a bit. And he's kind of like on edge, you know, and he's at home trying to, you know, keep Z calm and keep things normal. So he starts packing. Nurse comes back in and says they're gonna give me an hour, they're gonna feed me, and then they're gonna try to, you know, they're gonna check the baby's, do another ultrasound, check the baby's diaphragm again, see what's going on. So hour passes, ultrasound tech comes back, and she's looking at the baby's lungs again, and she fails the second ultrasound. So I'm just like, okay, like, you know, what's gonna happen? So they end up calling my doctor. My doctor comes in and he's just like, you know, the baby's not doing as good as he, you know, would want. How soon can your husband get here? Because you're having this baby. And I'm like, what? You know, like, my mom's not here to take care of Z. We're not ready. I mean, the house wasn't prepared at all. Like, I didn't even get a chance to really finish cleaning it from Easter. You know, I didn't get a chance to prepare Z, to set the nursery up. Like, we just weren't ready, you know? And I just wasn't ready. You know, I was like, hey, I've got 2 more weeks, you know, and like, I need my mom. So, Ty ends up, like, he was giving Z a bath, and he, like, wraps it up, you know, throws some clothes on her, throws everything in the car, you know, and, like, rushes out the door. And, like, you know, I think he said he ended up, like, pretty much tossing Z in our friend's, you know, arms, and that freaked her out.
Yeah, she was spazzing.
Yeah.
It was a
they had to
tough
give her gummy
departure.
bears. It was, and it wasn't the departure that we were anticipating.
Yeah, it was just really rushed and just wow, right there. And
yeah.
She wasn't ready.
No, none of us were ready, and I wanted her to be home.
Yeah, we couldn't really prepare her for it.
Yeah, I wanted her to be home.
Bye. She hadn't seen Mo and that day before. Really.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, because I didn't see her much Monday morning. So it was rough. It was rough for all of us, but it was definitely rougher for her. And she's never been, I mean, she's been away from Ty because of deployment, but she definitely had never been away from me. So, and I hadn't been away from her, so that was hard. Whew, that made me tear up. So, yeah. So he gets to the hospital, and then and the doctor was like, "How soon can he get here?" And we were like, I think it was like 8:30. Was it 8:30 or 9:30?
About 8:30.
Okay, 8:30.
I got there around 9.
Okay, but he got there within 30 minutes, so that was good. So then he gets there, and I'm like literally shaking, because I was just like, oh shoot, like I'm about to be sliced and diced, like this is crazy. And he gets there, and I like calm down, but then, they're prepping me for the epidural and asking me all these questions, and I just wasn't ready. So he gets there, and
we pray.
Yeah.
And then she gets on the bed, and they roll her into the operating room.
Yeah, so he got the nice, like full gown.
Yeah, they hooked me up with the hospital drip.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to go down. I'll keep y'all posted. I'm on the phone. I'm talking. Yeah, it's about to go down. Y'all stay tuned. Pray for us.
And
then they start doing what they do with all the knives.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I had to get another IV. That was horrible. I hate IVs.
How the C-section works, my two experiences, they have the dad, like by her head, she's laying down on this operating bed. They have a curtain.
Yes.
About her, right under her chest level, so you can't really see what's going on the other side.
It's like here.
Yeah, right here. You don't want to see what's going on. I mean, there's some sick people out there that like all that
blood and guts,
body stuff. Not me. So I'm hiding behind the curtain. I don't want no parts of it. But that's how it goes, and there's usually a couple of doctors or nurses on this side, comforting her, comforting me.
Yeah.
And then you hear all the operating going on the other side.
Yeah.
It's like,
the anesthesiologist was behind me. He was great. He also has a daughter named Zara, so it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then Ty was to my right, and then they had like the incubator for the baby, like behind him on the right hand side.
Yeah.
And then because she's 37 weeks, they had a NICU nurse along with like a pediatric nurse just to be on the safe side. And then, the doctor, the nurses that help with the surgery and blah, blah, blah. And the hardest part was definitely the epidural.
And what is that?
For that whole thing.
For the people who don't know. Does that make you numb?
It does. So basically I was numb from like the chest down, so I couldn't like feel anything.
And that hurts to receive. Where do they put that?
Well, they put it in your spine, and he had to poke me like 3 times to get it right, which was horrible, and it hurts. I mean, it's like a pretty thick needle.
Yeah.
And then it's, I don't even want to think. But again, that's like the hardest part, but it only hurts for like a few seconds because that anesthesia, like, it's fast-acting. And they give you morphine, which is horrible. And
would you recommend to not get that?
I would not recommend getting morphine to my worst enemy. Okay.
They didn't offer it to you, right?
They didn't. They just gave it. They just did it. But I didn't have that with Z, and I don't know if it's because it was an emergency. I don't know, but or if it's a state thing because I had Z in Maryland versus California. But I literally wanted to scratch my skin off, and apparently that is a very common side effect. It was horrible. But anywho, so yeah. But it was.
The process is about what? 10 minutes. I would say about 10 minutes.
They said, I know it's like a 40-minute procedure because I think it takes about he said 10 minutes to get to cut me open and get the baby out. Yeah, and then it takes about 30. Are you having flashbacks? Yes, takes like 20-30 minutes to like put everything back and then like sew me up and
well, for me it was about 10 minutes because once the baby came out,
I
leave.
Yeah.
So she came out.
Well, the baby came out.
Baby came out. They do all the weighing and stuff.
In the room.
In the room, which was different than Maryland. They do it in the room.
And they didn't do it in the room? No, they didn't. They took you to a different room, right? But you still got to stay with her.
Yeah. The bad part about it being in the room is, like, it's on the other side of the curtain.
So, did you see anything?
Yeah, on accident, I saw some things that I don't want to relive myself.
What did you see?
I seen some parts of you.
You saw some of my insides?
That probably you ain't even seen before.
Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious. I don't even know if I told you that, but yeah.
You didn't tell me that. Oh, no.
I was just in the moment, and people was talking to me while the baby was there.
I'm surprised you didn't pass out.
Looking over there, and then I see the table, and I see things on the table that weren't on the table when I walked past the first time.
Ew, that's so stressful. I'm so sorry.
You could.
Well, I can't apologize. I mean, although I'm apologizing, but I'm sorry for your eyes that you had to witness that.
I really know what you look like on the inside and out.
Ew. Oh gosh, that's really scary.
But yeah, that was the process for me. Then she came. They hooked her back up. Snip, snap, boop, boop, bap.
Well, they held her over the curtain, and the first thing I hear is she has a lot of hair, and Ty's eyes are like so big, and I was like, I want to see, because like I couldn't even see over the curtain.
Yeah.
So he got to see her first for like a good 5 minutes, and I'm just like, I hear her crying, and then I see him, and he's like, oh, the baby, the blah 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 blah, and then I'm just like, okay, when do I get to see her?
Yeah. And she finally gets rolled into the, what is it called?
Recovery room? Yeah.
Recovery room, where we already chilling. They do all the weighing and heights and all that for her.
Yeah.
And like her hearts and all that measuring.
Yeah.
If she healthy.
Yeah. They want to make sure that you're not going into distress because it's major surgery. I mean.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and childbirth has its risks when you have it, when you do it naturally anyway. And then the big thing too is that's when the mother and the baby get to bond, and you get to try breastfeeding, and they get to kind of see how the baby latches and see how the baby's doing. So, and you kind of, I feel like that's when you can kind of start processing everything.
Do some skin to skin action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So make sure you shave your chest.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I wasn't prepared, as we know, so.
Yeah.
She might have got
now she's like embarrassed.
A strand or two.
Look at her.
She's like, oh my
she's
gosh.
Like,
I can't believe they talking about me like that. That was that night. What was it, about 11, 30, 12?
So she's born at 10:03.
10:03.
So.
And then we was just up the whole night.
After gosh. Yeah, I don't think we went to bed until 6 in the morning the next day.
And it wasn't even because the baby was up fussing, because I only think she cried the first night. She likes to sleep.
Yeah.
It was just us. We were just up. She really just popped out.
Yeah, it was a lot to process. And then we were stressed about Z. And I don't think Z went to bed until almost midnight.
Yeah, Z.
Because she wasn't in her bed in her own element, you know. So, and she was probably waiting for us too. Yeah. So, and we felt, so we definitely felt guilty.
Yeah.
It was a big mix of emotions. Lots of joy, lots of love, but definitely some guilt
it was
that we had
hard
to
to
leave
really feel complete
without her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you happy with this new one, but then your OG.
I know, you feel like a traitor,
dang,
kind of.
Like, did I just swap one for one?
And I think for me, it was just more so I wanted her home, and I didn't want her to, I can't even say routine, but just for her to be like, to feel like, I won't say disrupted, that's not the right word.
Just feel like
I
everything
didn't say
is normal.
discombobulated, but yeah, I wanted her to have some
everything-
element, like some sense of normalcy.
While everything was pretty hectic and change was occurring. But yeah, the second that Tuesday was pretty good for everybody. For all of us, you were recovering pretty well.
Yeah.
Baby was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was walking by that Tuesday night.
Well, Monday. Well, I wouldn't say Monday night into Tuesday. It was Tuesday morning. It was like 4 or something.
No.
Yeah, because it was. I started. Because I walked to the bathroom when it was still dark out, so it was like Tuesday, like early in the morning Tuesday.
Oh, I was talking about like in the hallway, but yeah.
Oh, that was like Tuesday night into Wednesday.
But regardless, she recovered, not recovered, but she was walking at least pretty fast, which is.
But you're supposed to, because they want you have to be able to walk, and then they want you to try to at least pass gas, but have a bowel movement more so than anything, and you need movement for that. Yeah. So, and they just want to make sure everything's working right. The way I felt after this one, I've heard that repeat C-sections are better than like first ones, especially if they're not planned, and I can definitely agree with that. Yeah. But I definitely felt more at home with Z and Maryland.
And also a thing with this corona thing going on is we as the spouse or the support couldn't leave the hospital at all. So we couldn't like go out and grab something to eat.
Nope.
Things like that.
And they don't have like a little fridge.
Yeah, no fridge, no microwave.
Yeah, nothing.
But they had room service.
They did.
And they had some good French toast.
The French toast was
and
like,
they had some good
French
chicken
toast.
tenders.
Yes.
I will say that.
The barbecue sauce was
so shout out to the
phenomenal.
hospital chefs and cooks.
Yeah.
Y'all did y'all thing. But yeah, it just added to the craziness.
Yeah.
It was because so many restrictions were happening.
Oh yeah. Couldn't have any visitors.
At this time, no visitors.
So Wednesday we got discharged. I was in the hospital for 2 days.
2 days, which is pretty crazy.
I can't even say, because
I think it's pretty crazy. But
with Z, I stayed in for like 4, but she was also in the NICU, and I wasn't leaving without her.
So, but we were probably rushed. Just we wanted to leave as soon as we could, even regardless if Mo was 100%, just because we wanted to get back to Z.
Oh yeah.
And that was really a factor that got us to maybe even rush out.
I was gonna say, I
we
feel like that
stayed
was
a day
the
or two,
main.
and maybe we'll do another video later, and Mo can explain maybe some consequences as to maybe leaving earlier or some complication things.
Definitely had to go back to the hospital.
So
2 days later.
That'll be in another video. But yeah, we got to Z. That was a very beautiful moment when we got her and she finally met her baby sister. I'm gonna show that. Matter of fact, let's drop the video. Boopy, you ready? You ready? You ready to go see mommy and baby sis?
Are you ready? What's in that? What's in?
Baby.
Yeah, that's baby Sissy. Can you say hi?
Hey.
To baby Zara. Do you want to hold her?
Okay.
You want to hold her?
Okay.
You gotta come sit.
You want baby?
Okay. Oh, Boopy.
Good job, mama. Oh, we gotta hold her.
You gotta hold her.
Hold her head. Like
You gotta hold her head up.
Oh,
Good job.
give her a kiss on the head.
Yeah, that's baby sister. That's your new friend. Do you think she looks like you?
Huh? Can't say her mom.
Yeah? Gentle. Tum tum.
You good,
A little.
Hi.
Hi, baby. Yeah, that's a tearjerker,
Little
and we're gonna keep it. We're gonna cut it right there. We'll do like an update video later, but yeah, that's our delivery story. God is great. He got us through all of this, so we are truly grateful
Absolutely.
and honored to be blessed with another blessing, and blessed that we are all healthy still. So yeah, that's that. We are tired, so we're gonna go to
I'm
bed.
tired.
Peace out. Thank y'all for watching.